One of the other big stories, and by the way, thank you guys for watching. Irony, Hal being allergic to cats. I'm not. It's just dust. I wish I had that fucking special magic dust that the NSA is supposed to give us and put in all of our food, so then I wouldn't have to clean anything. I could just, I wouldn't even need a bed anymore. I just put a magnet on the ceiling and go, dink. Fuck, these people are stupid. Oh, God. Smart dust. That's right. Hashtag smart dust. So this is the big week where Donald Trump ran away from testifying in person, and so did Rudy Giuliani, by the way. Both of them this week. Both guys refused to testify in public in their court cases. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden shows up and says, I'm here to talk. You've been asking where I am. Well, here I am, motherfucker. Let's go. Let's do this on camera, right? And there's a big, the right's pissed off because they all have to keep saying he refused closed door testimony, which is it's just such a great fucking drag. But apparently, here goes, debunking Hunter Biden's pathetic attempt to claim Joe Biden is innocent. Here's the evidence. Well, that's what I've been waiting for. Haven't we all been waiting for this? I mean, obviously, we weren't going to get it from James Comer or Jim Jordan, obviously. But thank God Glenn has it. Here it is. Here's the evidence. They have the evidence. Don't you get it? It's a Cabbage Patch doll. You are so dense. So, yeah, you keep that up. If people don't hit that like, I'm going to start quoting a lot more Burglar. Because I can do the whole fucking movie. And don't, including the part where she's pretending to be a maid with prison tears on her eye. And never mind. So let me show you this right here. Here's the evidence. That's what we've been waiting for. I don't know why they waited this long. Do you? Here we go.
Here's cut 4. This is Hunter Biden yesterday. He said something that the New York Times decided.
Why would you source the New York Times? Aren't they the mainstream media? Aren't they owned by the libs and also an offshoot of the DNC? So clearly you're being psyoped. Why would you even do that? Is it very loud? I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
Decided to quote
still
by using a misquote. Listen to this.
Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business.
Stop. Why is that important?
Oh, this is the...
Well, Glenn, you have a song and then you remix it, and then there's a club mix and a dance mix and a disc.
All right. Let me tell you something. Anybody ever been involved in a business that you aren't financially involved in? What constitutes an involvement? Seriously. How can you be involved in a business that you're not financially involved in? Now, you could be helping somebody else as a favor to somebody. That would be the concern. That would be the thing. They're involved in that business. They're financially involved, and this is what they're going to dodge around. But they have not been making the case lately that Joe Biden was the brand and all that kind of shit. Stock ownership is being involved in it financially. You don't, being an intern? No. I don't think Joe Biden was interning. Consultant? Nope. You get paid as a consultant. Buying and selling stock, you're involved financially. You do well when it does well. If you don't believe me, then you don't care if Congress people can trade stocks that have to do with the oversight committees that they're on, right? We all agree that's not probably the best thing. Yeah? Okay. So there. Buying their product? Yeah, but you're not involved with the business. Yeah, volunteering, you're still not involved with the business. That would have to be an NGO or something. They can't not pay you as a business. We're talking about a for-profit entity. Paid employees or contractors are not involved. Yes, they are. If the company starts to fail, or they get whatever the company business does, you get money from that. You're involved financially. Your money comes from them. That's involved. You get a paycheck. That's involved. That's financially involved in the company. You may not have control, but you're financially involved. There just isn't. There is no situation. That's why they use this definitive term.
disco mix, and eventually it's not the same song. And that's where we are in the Hunter Biden saga.
They're not singing the same song here.
Because it was first, I've never spoken to my child, Hunter, about my business at all.
And
about his business at all. Don't fake quotes and then switch around the fucking pronouns and then move on. Because these assholes take it and then they run with it like that's what he actually said. The quote is, I've never talked to my son about his business, which is true. And saying hi to his business partners or knowing who they are or hoping they do well is not talking about the business. It's not talking about how the business runs, what its product is, what its service is, what money's coming in, what money's going out. Saying, how do you do to somebody that, I mean, fucking hell. If that's true, then every waiter you've ever been nice to suddenly means you are involved in the business of Olive Garden.
he would say, I've never spoken to my father. Never spoken to my father
That was
about
the initial claim.
any of my business.
And that
Nope, that's not what he said either. Saying you're going someplace for business is talking to your dad about business. But it's not talking about the business or what the business does or getting help with the business or advice about the business. You see the difference? This is why they play fast and loose with this all the time. That's why, by the way, Hunter Biden and them have gotten more specific about stuff. And now that they're getting more specific, this is the fallback. They start, when they get more specific, these guys fuck up the generalities.
moved it got to, I've never spoken to him about the finances. I've
Correct.
never met with any of all these things have now been
Which are true because they were specifying their accusations and they respond to the specific accusations each time. They didn't stop saying the previous shit, just for the record.
proven to be true.
And
Now we've gone all the way to, what was the quote again?
my
He's going to quote him.
father was not financially involved.
in my business. Now that is a massive leap because
They literally, for the last 3 weeks, and what they want to deal with in this hearing is looking at the money that Hunter made and saying his money went from him into this shell company, into James Biden's account, and then into his dad. That's what they're saying. They're saying the finances show this is money laundering. This is money. My money goes through here. That's why he said financially. He's being very specific because that's the specific accusation. This is all bullshit. Try harder.
I think
You think very seldomly.
if you thinking about what we believe about Joe Biden, like
I don't care what you believe. You're talking about criminal charges and criminal allegations. I don't give a fuck. You believe that he takes orders from Obama. You believe that this is Hillary's actual term. You believe that the staff around him makes all of his decisions. I don't give a fuck what you believe, motherfucker. This is like, say believe again. Say believe again. Jesus Christ, I got to get the fuck out of here. That guy looks like he might actually take a bite out of me.
for example,
Uh-huh.
there was a payment that went. We've talked about it before, and I'm not
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking
going to
about.
be able to exactly get it right.
It's China
Yep.
to the trust to the the shell corporations. Actually, through
Yeah, you get it right. I mean, it's a fucking, you can see the chart in your head. Just make it up. It's China money going into the business holding account for the purchase of the natural gas facility in Louisiana. The deal didn't go through. The money for the legal and investment advice and the structuring of the company entirely goes to Hunter, to his law firm that he's always had. That's where he does as a lawyer. He's incorporated. Owasco is that. He's named after the fucking Finger Lakes where his mom lived when he was a fucking kid. And then after that, he paid some money that he owed James, and then James paid money later. And again, they're tying it together as these payments went to here, which they'd have to show that these accounts that these were paid through were either empty or incapable of making these payments until these dates. Instead of, these are just the dates, and we're going to assume that this money led to this money, led to this money, led to this money. That's what they're trying to do. But watch this asshole try to stack this shit together.
I don't remember, it was Sri Lanka or some crazy place like that. China, Sri Lanka, then to the shell corporations, then to
Sri Lanka,
the lawyer,
get the fuck out of here.
Then the lawyer to, I think, Joe Biden's brother,
Jim Biden.
Biden.
Mm-hmm.
The lawyer is Hunter, you dumbass.
Then he
The lawyer and by the way, by saying the lawyer, this is another lie by Glenn. This is very specific. I mean, you should listen to what they're actually saying. The law firm of Hunter Biden is what got paid by that organization, by that company when it went away. Okay? Yeah, I think I got the scam bot out of there. I think. Pretty sure it was in the chat. Notice how he says the lawyer as if it's not Hunter Biden. This is Glenn adding another fake human being to this. Adds another person to the scheme that doesn't exist.
Corporations, then to the lawyer, then the lawyer to, I think, Joe Biden's brother.
Nope. The lawyer is Hunter Biden. He was paid for his legal work for this company. That Owasco is his fucking law firm. But notice these two assholes creating a whole other character. You ever watch a movie and it's maybe a whodunit or a movie like Scream or something like that, but they didn't really write it very well. And did I not get the person? Hold on. I think I bounced him out. Nope. Moderators, do we have any help there? Is there a issue with this? Anyways, so bless you. So at some point you're watching the movie and you're like, I think this person did it. I think this person did it. And then what happens is they add a character in the last act out of fucking nowhere. They unmask somebody that wasn't involved in the story the whole time and go, they actually did it. And you're like, what the fuck? You can't just... Then this is just a story about somebody who randomly did some shit and everybody else was confused. You can't add another character in the whodunit as the whodunit happens. It's just lazy. That's exactly what they're doing. There is no lawyer in this other than Hunter Biden.
Jim Biden. Mm-hmm. Then he wrote a check to all of the other Bidens, including one to Joe Biden that said
loan
repayment. But
no. There were not multiple checks at the same time. He didn't get this money and then that day, as soon as the check fucking cleared, write a bunch of stuff. There is no timeline on any of this shit. It's kind of like the lack of time code on Tucker Carlson showing the footage from Jan 6. You motherfuckers just don't want to look, do you? You're just going to blow it off. And then and the worst part is, because you blow it off, that's why these Roseanne-type assholes who watch the trials about this stuff, and they're like, why won't these people go to jail? How come they don't get arrested? There's so much evidence. That's because these motherfuckers fabricate humans out of thin air in the storyline and don't get any of the dates right and create, correlation as causation. And then go, it's obvious to me. And then why do you think people are fucking threatening people at the DOJ with death?
There's no paperwork or any kind of indication that money was ever loaned to Jim.
Right.
No, not right. No. First of all, small loans over time where he decides when he finally has enough money to pay them all back at the same time because he's helping him with payments and little things, not a direct loan. He didn't loan him $200K flat. He owed him $200K, and he'd been basically during a deal. So somebody's working on a deal or trying to make a movie or something like that, and their parents are helping them out or whatever. And don't ask me how I know this. I'm kidding. I bless my dad, but as soon as I moved to LA, he was like, "Good luck. I hear it's rough." But somebody helps out a relative or whatever during this time, and it's small payments all along the way, and it adds up. And then when the deal happens and they're like, finally, I got fucking paid. Okay, here's that money I owe you and I get to keep anything that's left. That's how it works. They kept you afloat during that time. That's what that money is. It wasn't a $200K loan that was flat out. It's the same thing that goes with the truck loan stuff, the $4,000. That's why he got that guy who was Hunter got that guy who was acting as his accountant to go, okay, what do we owe your dad for fucking repairs when you were staying at the house and that kind of stuff? What's that amount? We'll write him a check. And it's a loan repayment because he fronted you that fucking money one drip and drab at a time, and then you paid it all off in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
So now you
are stupid. Say it, Stu. You want to say it. We know you do. He yawns in your fucking face, Stu. Tell him he's dumb. You can do it.
could probably technically look at that arrangement and say that's not a financial involvement in the business.
Yep. You could also say that these checks have no relation to those checks except time. And the other issue you have is that when you're talking about influence peddling, you also have to show that influence happened and that it benefited the person that wrote the check and didn't fuck them up.
Right? Like, he's not
Because nobody blackmails somebody to kick them in the balls. I think they just pay somebody to do that, right?
investing.
I mean, I know some dominatrixes. I would just never take advantage of the services. It's not my thing. Again, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. It makes no sense to me. But, you know, the last thing I would think is you would want to go to a dominatrix on credit because you don't know whether you're getting your ass kicked. Like, how do they get their money back for services rendered if they're just going to render more services? It just occurred to me. That's a very weird moment. How does a loan shark get money back from somebody who ran up a tab going to a dominatrix? I don't even know how that works. Like, oh yeah, I pay it off. All right.
You know, it's not like Joe Biden's not investing money into
he's
that
just getting
business.
Right.
Paid for loans.
He's getting repaid for loans, right?
That he never made.
But like,
No. The problem you have is that the money's not going to the company. You're missing an entire 3 steps. And Glenn, you know, obviously added a fake human being in the middle of his trail to make it even more sketchy and fucked up, and it didn't work.
like even the way it is now, like it's clearly a payment,
Yeah.
but it's not on the books as a financial investment in this company.
Correct.
No, it's not clearly a payment. It's clearly a repayment because that's what it fucking says. If you have any evidence to the contrary, fire away. Also, if you as conservatives would like anybody who loans their brother or sister-in-law or son or anybody to create a loan document every time they loan them a small amount of money or as it reaches a certain point. Like once you loan your kid, let's just say under these rules, any parent that loans their kid money to go to college that their kid is going to pay back, that the kid insists, one day I'm going to pay you back, Pop, right? We go through that. At what point, midway through their sophomore year, do you have to fill out a loan document because you've crested over into the 50 grand zone, depending on the cost of the education, right?
No one's accusing him of investing in this company.
Look, here's the thing.
Yeah, they are. They're accusing him of getting millions of dollars from our enemies abroad and China money.
Let's just look at this as a normal human being. First
of all, Glenn, you are not capable of doing that.
all, my kid is doing drugs and hookers, and I know about it. I don't.
But he doesn't do them the same way. I've never done drugs, and I guess porn stars count. I don't know if it's. I'll do the math later. But I think you do both of those things a different way.
Send him over to Ukraine.
He didn't
To a
send him.
job-
He didn't send him to Ukraine.
With a guy who literally beheads his enemies.
Or
Zlochevsky beheads his enemies. This is so at a certain point. Is the argument now? I'm trying to figure this fucking out. Is the argument now that Joe Biden got Shokin fired for fear that that Zlochevsky would kill his son? Who the fuck is he talking about?
any reason.
I never do that. I never do that. Okay. I never put my son, who is addicted.
Again, I don't know where the fucking Zlochevsky beheading thing came from. What is he talking about? Does anybody know where any of that shit is coming from? Is he just conflating people again? He just doesn't know who the fuck he's talking about? Or is this just another person? Do we now have a new fantastical villain that he's adding along with the lawyer that, well, Jesus.
To cocaine and everything else and hookers. I never put him in a situation to where it's going to make it worse. Okay.
He's a grown man. He's not putting him in a situation. That, again, asserts facts, not an evidence.
I don't send him money to bail him out with his hookers.
I don't think he's bailing him out with his hookers. I think they sent him money at one point when he was getting clean. And it worked. Look, we get it, Glenn. If you had a child that was addicted, you would just say, fuck you, go die in a hole somewhere. I'm not going to get you a job because anywhere I could get you a job, there's probably bad people there, so you're screwed.
None of that.
By the way, yeah, hit the like, folks, right now. Just do it. Just click the like. If you're here still, I think it's worth you doing. Just do it. You forgot to do it. It's okay. I forgot to mention. It's my fault. It helps us out. It really does. It helps. It really does. Think about it. There you go. See, look, now that happens. Look at these. Now they're coming up. Look at that. Add your name to the list of decent and good people. Don't be one of these filthy monsters that doesn't hit the like. No, be like these lovely people. Sorry.
I don't think you do either.
I think you would just disown your kid who was addicted then, I guess.
Now, here's something I might do if my son was legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have an illegitimate son we don't know about?
I'm at the end of my career. I'm 78 years old, and my son is making money. And as long as I'm not making money, I'll pop in and just say hi to my son. He's with some clients. I'm not going to do anything for him.
No.
I'm not going to do anything for those clients, but I pop in, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not taking any money from it.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
But
okay.
you could see yourself.
Yeah, but you would be hurting the business, Glenn. This is a different thing. There is no Glenn Beck brand that helps the kids.
Walk in and go, hey, you guys, I'm so glad, you know my son. It's great to meet you. And then those people go back and tell their little stories. Oh, my gosh. And then Joe Biden walked in. The vice president walked in.
Correct.
Right. And they said, did you tell him about our deal where we could, maybe we could get him in on? And they're like, nah, he won't do anything. What? Yeah, no, I mean, we met him. He came in and he said hi and stuff, but we didn't have a chance to pitch him anything like that. He won't be part of the deal. He can't be part of the deal. He doesn't do that shit. Why not? Well, first of all, it's fucking Trump and Pence are in there, so it's not like he has any control. The Republicans control the House and the Senate right now, so it's not like he's got some leverage or some shit as a former vice president. I don't know what the fuck you're expecting there, but no, I mean, he just asked us about the weather, said something about the fishing, and then fuck it. That was it. What are you talking about? I thought we hired his son so that we could get access to his dad. We got access. What'd he say? Hi. What the shit?
You can see that being something that you do as.
But that's not the only thing he did.
No.
He would.
No? What else did he do?
Take private conferences with them.
Dinners.
Dinners.
No, the dinners happened after he was in office. And even still, that doesn't matter. You could still do it. By the way, if Glenn Beck said, yeah, boys, I'm interested in your deal. I'm going to put a little money in, or I'll be a spokesperson for it, or I'll use some of my leverage to help you guys but I get a 10% stake. That's what they're arguing Joe Biden did. He walked in, he had a little meeting with these guys, like, hey guys, you got to do your little business thing. I got some connections still. I get a 10% stake, and I'll just bring it up with these guys and help grease the wheels a little bit. First of all, you don't think Glenn Beck would do that shit or does it now? The fuck are you talking about? He expects it of everyone around him. And by the way, Stu, if you're ever, deciding to branch off, Glenn is not going to help you because there always has to be something in it for Glenn. There's no way he's helping you, much less his own kids, in this regard. It's just silly.
With them, he would get their kids into colleges.
Oh my God. A letter of we got a letter of recommendation from the former vice president for my kid to get into college. Did that benefit you financially? Well, I guess I didn't. No, I had to pay a lot more because that was a very expensive college, but they got in.
He was certainly, at the very least, part of a threat for payment.
Yes.
Now, we don't know for sure if
my dad will make you miserable.
Yeah, exactly. We know that.
Okay, again, in what capacity? Again, this is 2017, 2018. Hey, I don't give a fuck. He's a private citizen. Again, you can't find the 2-year fucking window in this dude's entire life in public where he wasn't serving in government or running for office. That's it. You find a fucking 2-year window, and the only private business that you're talking about where he's quote unquote influence peddling, which, by the way, none of this is about foreign deals during this 2-year window.
He was at least using his dad. That's at least what we know.
Who gives a shit? That's not his dad's fault. And it's not a crime. And it didn't pay off.
And we know they were in the same location at the time of that.
Yes, and these guys don't know anything about family closeness. That never happened.
Message.
And I think if you and your wife,
I gotta say, fuck, this is lazy.
or your wife and your husband,
Wait, Stu has a wife and a husband? I thought Glenn was the only Mormon on this show. Are they all? No, okay.
had Hunter Biden as your son, and you really believed the things that you had said, I wasn't involved in that. I wasn't. Okay, I did meet with some people, but you believed that all the way. And you believed your son was struggling. But at this point, this is going on. He's now in contempt of Congress, okay?
Yeah, because he wants to testify in public, not in private.
At some point, you say,
he's not hiding from testifying. Like, this is lazy.
you know, son, you're out of get out of jail free cards. I'm sorry, but you've
Maybe that's what did happen. He's being charged in federal court in California, and Joe has not stepped in. He hasn't told the DOJ to go easy on him. What the fuck are you talking about? And also, this like odd fucking Hallmark movie drama conjecture. He does realize this is fucking meaningless, right? This is literally meaningless.
humiliated me and the family, and quite honestly, yourself and your children. And I don't want your children to believe that they can get away with the kind of stuff. And maybe it's my fault because I raised you like this. I don't know. But no more. No more.
What do you mean no more? What's the no more? You were addicted to drugs. Your relationships were falling apart. You finally get back on your feet. You're not using drugs anymore. This is the perfect time to say you're not welcome at family gatherings. All right. Like, it's the same shit. I didn't see any evidence. Did you? We went halfway through that video. I didn't catch any evidence at all. Did you see any evidence? I didn't see any evidence. I saw the same shit that we always see.